lies. They lie, more lie, white lie, real lie. Them lie, he lie, true lie, damn lie. Lies, more lies, lies, more lies.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
This Christmas, add postpaid for a festive win-win. We're gifting you a 50-inch smart TV or a $400 Amazon gift card. When you add a Flow postpaid mobile plan to your home internet, you can celebrate the most wonderful time of the year with a big screen or big shopping. Let us upsize your TV or clear your Amazon cart. Either way, you come out on top. Add postpaid to internet today for your festive win-win. Visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply.
Mommy, are you writing to Santa too?
You have Santa. I have CIBC Caribbean.
CIBC has sweetened the season, so you can bring your holiday dreams to life and wrap a new home or land with incredible cashback deals. Plus, your approved loan gives you a chance to win up to US $5,000. Apply now at www.cibccaribbean.com/sweeten the season. Terms and conditions apply.
with 2 days of super savings at the TDC Home and Building Depots and Automotive Divisions in St. Kitts and Nevis. Shop your way on Friday 28th and Saturday 29th November and get 25% off in-store and online at shoptdcgroup.com. Get everything you need before the holiday rush begins. This weekend, celebrate Saturday. Head to your favorite TDC retail store, the place for holiday savings. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details. TDC. Together, we succeed.
Good morning and good morning. It's just about 5 minutes after the hour of 8. It is Friday, November 28th, 2025. Welcome to today's edition of Island Tea. Just to remind you, we're being simulcast on TVC Channel 40, Facebook, as well as YouTube. On your FM dial, we are at 98.9 in the FM. If you wish to join in on the conversation or bring something pressing to the fore, our local number is 466-0989. Or our U.S. number 1-305-921-4619 or 1-718-2 285-6984, or in the UK, it's 0333440065. To all our regular listeners, to all our new listeners, I am Cortensia, and with me in studio we have Quint. On today's program, we have John coming in from 8:30 to 9 a.m. to speak on whatever topic he chooses. Hopefully he continues along the line of Christmas so we can find out some more things about the traditions that we have here when it comes to Christmas and our carnival celebration. At 9:15 to 9:30 a.m., we have the handsome Dominic in studios from TDC to continue the promotion of, well, I hear it playing all the time, Friday and Saturday sale. And then at 9:30 to 9:45, we have Guardian General, and their representative today will be Miss Kezia Walters. So stay tuned to find out all that is happening. And this morning, the change was changed in St. Vincent. We have Dr. Friday. He's now St. Vincent's 7th Prime Minister. So no more red, guys. It's all yellow. After 25 years of rule, the people of St. Vincent basically said, Uncle Ralph, we're done, we're fed up, we don't want nothing to do with you. And these are some of the words I've been hearing from what I've been listening, from some of the cuts and clips I've been listening to. They wanted something new. So Dr. Friday has a very big mandate, and I hope he does what he promises that he will do, because people realize that they have the power now, so they're not playing with these politicians. And I already saw someone asking him to bring gospel artists for the celebrations and not another Jamaican secular artist, because it is God is the reason why he won. So I hope he listens to those individuals. It seems like the entire St. Vincent is on the same page, and I'm not saying yield to everything, but give God the praise there, and remember to treat the people well. So St. Lucia is up next. Let's see what will happen there, if there'll be a soup in the red, and yellow will prevail as well. Quint, how are you doing today, and what do you think about the results of the election?
Well, I didn't know until I got a lift from someone this morning, and he was telling me that my man, the leader, lost, and he lost big time. So
big time. He only got 3 seats, his seat and 2 others. Yeah. The ULP got 12.
Yeah, so that's a resounding
we fed up
no.
With you.
Yeah.
That's a no you can hear all the way from St. Vincent. Oh, boy. Yeah. Listen.
We have a caller.
Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
Good morning to everyone, and greetings once more in Jesus Christ's name, the only Savior of sinners from their sins and from hell, through the gospel only, through faith only, by the gospel only. And Christ, the second person of the Trinity. Now, let me say again, we need to become a republic and get to the British Commonwealth, and at least in one way, the quicker the better. There has been something that has been alleged, and I have read it on the internet last night, and it's coming from I think it's a Nevis Times, okay? And I just want to read a little piece of it. It has been alleged, obviously it has been alleged, and I just want to read a little piece of it. Sources across both islands describe the rumor as persistent, widespread, and growing louder by the day. And for many, the biggest hint came out from backroom talk, and for many, the biggest hint came not from backroom talk, but from a public post by former Minister Hazel Brandy Williams, who ignited the national conversation when she declared the only thing St. Kitts Nevis will get out of destiny is the double salary that's coming next month. Now, all I would like to say is that even if this happens to be so, of course it's all alleging, But even if this happens to be so, I hope that that does not buy out those who are against this SSS destiny thing. I hope it does not buy them out.
Well, why should it buy them out when all you're going to get is a one-off in terms of a double salary? So you're going to buy into something that gives you a double salary for 1 year and for the rest of your life?
People will do that. There are those who will do that. Sad to say, but yes, there are those who are weak enough to do that.
I don't.
There are people who come very cheap.
Look, I don't. Yeah, there are, but I don't think the majority of the people are going to be like that. So I mean,
well, I hope nobody would be like that. Yeah. So, but I just tried it out there. What is being alleged? I just tried it out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it is what it is. Okay, Quint and Catencia.
All right, Greg. Thank you for your call and your concerns. So, what is Greg saying, that they're only gonna get double salary this time? But when the first year they went in, didn't they get double salary?
I don't even recall.
I think. Okay, for Greg, if you know that, maybe you can call back and say, because I remember. I think, huh?
We have another caller.
Okay, caller, go ahead. You're live on Island
Maybe
T.
they can help you on that. You know?
Okay.
Good morning, Hortensia and Q. How are you guys doing today?
We're good. You?
Is there
I'm blessed. I received and I'm giving thanks. Thank you.
Tell me something.
That you hold on, Troy. You were missing from the shot. That's what was it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
According to the media, there was a yellow wash. You know, when it comes to cricket and football, we talk about whitewash and blackwash and all kind of wash.
Clean sweep.
But last night it was a yellow wash in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I started listening earlier, and that was you could see what the people were thinking, eh?
Mm-hmm.
And I subscribe to that. I think after these years, 15, 20 years, 25 years in power, in the politicians, the governments, they become complacent, perhaps bankrupt of ideas, some people may say. But I think they start to take the electorate for granted.
Yeah.
And that is something that we have to be extremely mindful of. And then, sad to say, the former administration, especially the leader, was accused of, well, I don't know if it's ego or whatever, but I think that was eminent.
Mm-hmm.
But why I particularly call the president of Cricket West Indies, Dr. Keith Shallow, he contested the elections for the opposition. And from what I gather, he won his seat.
Mm-hmm. He did.
So congratulations to Dr. Keith Shallow on entering the realms of politics now and helping to run and shape the direction of the country for at least the next 4 or 5 years. However, within the politics, there is politics. How will that affect his operation as president of Cricket West Indies? Obviously, there are going to be discussions on both sides of the fence, or maybe 3 sides of the fence. Some persons are saying, well, hey, that will help him to improve the West Indies, governance, performance, etc. But on the flip side of that, Cartency and Quint, persons are saying, well, why? He may not necessarily have enough time now to deal with that because it's his first time in government, so he would want to really get in and make a mark. And Red Pereira, he has an article which is suggesting that it's probably better. He suspects that he's going to resign from Cricket West Indies to devote more time. And I see it as a challenge. Obviously, he wouldn't be able to spend as much time with Cricket West Indies as he would have liked to now, and especially since we're not performing that well. And at the end of the day, he might realize why I can't handle it, so I have to join him. So nonetheless, I congratulate him and wish him the best, and we'll see how that works out.
Definitely will see. But yeah, that's something else I had here to say. Congratulations to him because I saw when he went up, and I'm sure they would have had talks prior to that, knowing that he was gonna enter the election ring and maybe win because as one person, one of the ministers that were with Dr. Friday, I remember during the campaign when they were, saying things and stuff. They were saying after Thursday comes what Friday. So then they were basically saying Friday had it. And from, as I said, from what I was looking at the commentary, the pictures, the posts, I said, boy, this is a clean sweep. I already knew Dr. Gonzalez was going to lose because I have close friends in St. Vincent that I've been keeping in contact with, and they've been keeping me up to date as to what's been happening.
And it seems pretty close from the onset.
You thought so?
Coming in some boxes, winning by 3 here and 5 here and things like that. I don't know how it worked out in the end.
12-3, Biff.
No, in terms of the individual constituencies, the victory of the victory of margin.
Okay.
Whether they won by 105, 203,
got you.
The sort of thing. I don't know how it worked out in the end, but I think it was, and I wasn't following it until last night. I didn't get the idea what the temperature on the ground was. But so the question now is, would they lose a follow? I'm not certain, but congratulations to Dr. Shallow and the
I'm not too sure about St. Lucia for real, but let's wait and see because it looks more red to me than yellow. Yeah.
So the wind of change is not going to continue blowing, it's going to pass over.
I don't know. Remember I tell you, I don't know. But from what I'm seeing. But I can't say. But for St. Vincent, I always said yellow had this, man. When I see, I don't know how much you saw of it, Biff. But it was the boat rides to go to the different islands. You see how those boats were packed on the streets, at the meetings. I could have seen through the people in red. Yellow, hardly ever. I've been paying close attention to it. So I knew, I was like, oh boy, poor Ralph. Because he still wants to, maybe if he had given somebody else a chance, but maybe not. Maybe the Vincentians are really tired. After 25 years, they have not seen what they desire, etc., etc. They just decided, come uncle, go home and sit down now. So.
Well, let's see where it goes. Of course, if you could convince the government to pump some more money into, pump some more money into West Indies cricket, I guess people would say, well, hey, let him stay forever. But not Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yeah.
And but it's going to be a challenge because the St. Vincent Prime Minister over the years, and a similar situation would have happened to us here in St. Kitts between 95, when it was 95 and 2015, with Dr. Douglas.
Yeah.
Everybody accustomed to the voice, accustomed to the personality.
And they changed.
Yes, it changed, but it's always like that, one way or the other, because we have persons going to the, God forbid, the unforeseen circumstances of going to the great beyond, and the work has to go on.
Yeah.
So we will just have to wait and see. And Dr. Friday, he was in opposition for like 20-something years.
25.
So
that's the last time the government was in power.
You mean he has been in opposition all that time?
Yeah.
Holding on, keeping the faith. Somewhere down there.
Well, let's hope that he really brings a difference. After waiting in the wilderness for so long, let's hope it's not the same old.
That's the last time, in 2000 was probably the last time his party was in power. Yeah,
yes,
when they had elections.
And people growing up, and that's all you know, it's like for forever, eh? And maybe a better thing for any country, in my humble view, is you give a government. And Jamaica had that, I think, they used to give you a one term, and if you do good, you get a second term. But no matter how well you would have done, we're going to change the government after you have 2 terms because we don't want you to get complacent for all those things and believe that the country is yours. And to me, that's a better system rather than having one
I
government.
agree.
Like the U.S. Yeah.
Yes.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine the U.S. thinking that Trump is going to be there forever?
Yeah. And obviously, one of the conversations came out is fixed date for elections, like the U.S.
Yeah.
You know, our Caribbean leaders could decide that, hey, we're going to have elections in the next month. So the people wouldn't know. But that is something that we need to start to consider seriously.
Yeah, I agree on that too.
Rather than the leaders springing the elections, so to speak. It's a 5-year term, but nothing stops you from having elections in 3.5 years, 3 years, 2 years even.
Exactly.
And but that fixed date you walk towards it.
I don't agree with having election. I mean, I have a 5-year mandate. I don't agree with having election 2 years into your mandate. To me, it suggests that maybe you're up to some trick to try to see if maybe you gave 2 consecutive double salaries and you feel, I think it's right for, or something. But if you have a 5-year mandate, I would feel that you would try to go as close to that to make sure you are as productive as possible, but you never know what's going through the heads of these politicians.
Correct. But remember, in St. Kitts some years ago, we had elections after, 5.5 years, almost 6 years?
But we know why that happened.
Yes. It's when some period after you would have had your first sitting of the National Assembly, which no one knew.
Yeah.
It was the first time it had happened, but I don't think it hasn't happened since.
Yeah.
But you're right, Quint. I understand you. I agree with you. And you do something, you build some big projects, and you try the elections immediately after that.
Because really and truly, when you do that, it means technically you didn't live up to your mandate. You pulled a few tricks out of the bag, shortened the original mandate you had, and then start all over again. I mean, to me, it's ridiculous. I have 5 years. I'm going to take 5 years to, to do what I have to do.
What I promised to do.
As close to that, so that the people can see my years in government have been productive.
Yeah, fruitful.
All this sleight of hands, and so that's nonsense. So I agree, we should have term limit, and we should have a time for ringing the bell and all those things. But when they are in opposition, they say they're going to do these things, and when they get in, they say
that's what I said.
Power is sweet. So
I hope Friday is good to the folks, because they've been listening. They want the change. They see it in him. They're hoping for better. So he has to do what he has to do. The only thing Raf was campaigning on, to me, the biggest thing was, if you bring CBI, no more visas. So to me,
that is one of the things I don't agree with him with, but anyway, it's his thing. Let's see how it plays out. But you know what I was just thinking? They say, like you all were saying, after a certain day comes Friday. There's the other saying, thank God it's Friday. So let's hope that he lives up. Let's hope that he lives up to that, because everybody always looks toward Friday. Friday is a payday. You're going to party on and over the weekend. And so let's see, Mr. Friday, as Cartensia says, you have a big weight on your shoulders to carry, boy.
One. You got to deal with health care.
You have Good Friday and Black Friday, so we're going to hope it's Good Friday.
Easy Good Friday. Because today is Black Friday, right?
I don't know.
Yes, I think so.
Today's Black Friday in the U.S.
After Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Take a woman to know that, you know what I'm saying?
We're going to get Quint afterwards.
I want quickly. I may not be able to be there for when John comes in. I really enjoyed it last week. Of course, anything culturally, I'm going to enjoy tremendously.
Yeah.
And the Christmas, at least two things I could remember about Christmas is pigeon peas.
Yes.
For some reason, pigeon peas used to be very, very popular, very prominent.
Yeah.
I don't know how many pigeon peas trees.
You remember those? You remember those days when, as a boy, you had to sit down and shell all of those pigeon peas?
Yeah. And it has evolved to not just the green peas and the shelling. Sometimes you boil them in the shell, whether they're green, whether they're dry, and you have that. And also the sugar cane. There was a bamboo stalk that was going in the sugar cane that indicated that Christmas was coming. But of course, we don't have too many sugarcane fields around. And sorrel, if I'm not mistaken, was very popular only.
Yes, but now
time.
it's year round, so it's
Yes,
it's lose its identity to me, being synonymous with Christmas.
Yes, and in some cases, you have to use your imagination to determine if it's actually sorrel, because it's mixed so thinly, so to speak.
Yes.
You can't get the rich sorrel, so to speak. So those three things, I think, have changed.
Okay.
And you could seldom see. I'm amazed when I see a pigeon peas
tree,
because they used to be up and down the place, but now you're seeing one over here, three over there, and things like that.
Remember back in the day, the fencing for a lot of land used to be pigeon peas tree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So best wishes, guys. Have a good program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
We're
good day.
going to take a bit of a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Here are your Horsters Value Max IGA specials.
Running November 27th to December 10th.
Now our Value Club Blue Tag specials. Malto meal bagged cereals, just $19.99. Essential Everyday White Vinegar, $14.99. Pillsbury Cake Mix, $6.99. Chef Boyardee canned and microwave pastas, $6.99. Celeste pizzas, $6.99 each. Morning Star meatless entrees, $20.99. And now our very low weekly
value deals. IGA or Essential Everyday Mac and Cheese, $2.99. Essential Everyday Oils, Vegetable and Canola, $13.99. Essential Everyday Croutons, $5.99. Libby's Canned Vegetables, $2.99. Nature Valley Granola Bars, $12.99. The Amanama Toothpaste, $14.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart, tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
The countdown is on. The sweetest season of the year is here. From December 13th to January 2nd, St. Kitts and Nevis comes alive once more with vibes galore, energy to explore, and moments sweeter than ever before. Sugar Max 54, sweet to the core. The stage erupts with the passion of Calypso, the sweet sound of Pan, the heat of Soca, dazzling pageants and traditions that make you love Carnival even more. Dance to the streets at Juve, celebrate folklore, and revel in the Grand Carnival Parade, a celebration of rhythm, color, culture. Sugar Mass 54, sweet to the core.
Caribbean numbers come and play. Just one single dollar, that is the way. You can pick one number or two or three and win up to 20,000, you see. 3 ways to play, 3 draws a day, 3 ways to win. Hear what we say. Caribbean numbers is the easiest game to play.
The new Caribbean numbers.
So play today.
At any Caribbean lottery agent island-wide.
So play today.
The wait is over. Registration is now open for the COSCAP Junior Carnival Parade 2025. This year, we celebrate under the theme National Treasures, highlighting our unspoiled historical sites and cultural art forms. The Masquerade, Clowns, Brimstone Hill, Berkeley Memorial, Independence Square, and from Nevis, Hot Spring, Bath Hotel, and the Botanical Gardens. It all comes alive on Saturday, December 27th, 2025. Sign up now. It's free. Register online at www.skncarnival.com or in person at the Department of Youth, 3rd floor of the Cable Building, Keon Street, Bastyr. But hurry, while stocks last, join the celebration, honor our national treasures, and watch the future of Carnival shine. It's sweet to the core. Sugar Mass 54.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
This Christmas, add postpaid for a festive win-win. We're gifting you a 50-inch smart TV or a $400 Amazon gift card. When you add a Flow postpaid mobile plan to your home internet, you can celebrate the most wonderful time of the year with a big screen or big shopping. Let us upsize your TV or clear your Amazon cart. Either way, you come out on top. Add postpaid to internet today for your festive win-win. Visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply.
Rams the good food people, always there to serve you. Rams the good food people, locations right near you. Rams the good food people, in-store specials for you. Rams the good food people. Rams. When you need better service, Rams is always here. Better value, better prices. Rams is always here. Rewarding your loyalty. Rams is always here. We are community. We are family. We are family. Rams for you and me. We are community. Rams for you and me.
Mom, the Christmas cookies are ready. We leave them right here under the tree for...
For Santa or for CIBC Caribbean?
Tis the season for dreams to come true. Whether it's a house, land, vehicle, or upgrading your home, CIBC Caribbean can support your dreams with the financing you need. Enjoy incredible cashback deals with mortgages and land loans. Plus, your approved loan gives you a chance to win up to US $5,000. Apply now at www.cibccaribbean.com/sweeten the season. Terms and conditions apply.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
The battle for the crown is officially on. Sugar Mass 54 presents the Republic Bank Miss Teen St. Kitts and Nevis pageant. On Saturday, December 13th at 7 p.m., all eyes turn to the Warner Park Cricket Stadium as 8 brilliant young queens step forward to represent their schools with pride, purpose, and poise. Cheer for Kimaya McDonald of Keon High, Tatiana Archer of the Immaculate Conception Catholic School, Kamira Williams of Virchow's High, Kaylin Brown of the Charles E. Mills Secondary School, Joel Nisbet of the Dr. Denzel L. Douglas Secondary School, Kalia Philtu of the Baxter High School, Kato Rollins of the Washington Archibald High School, and Selena Alwani of Sky Academy. One stage, one crown, one unforgettable night as these rising stars bring talent, elegance, and school spirit center stage. Who will rise? Who will shine? And who will take home the title? Find out live at the Warner Park Cricket Stadium. Admission is only $50 for adults and $40 for children under 18. Tickets available at skandcarnival.com. Sugar Mass 54, sweet to the core.
And we're back on Island Tea, and as promised, we have John in studio with us for the next half an hour. So, John, welcome back. Good morning, and take it away.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday to you.
Thank
And,
you. Same
happy
to you.
Friday to everybody. Friday is the day today. It's the beginning of the weekend.
You heard of the elections in St. Vincent, not to cut
I'm
you.
shocked.
Yeah.
I'm really shocked.
And Quint, another thing, you know that his first name is God Win Friday. So they say, yeah. So everything is just good.
I heard you talking about that on my way in a little bit. I'm a little concerned, actually.
Why?
In that the Gonzales policy is very left. And I don't know what I've never even heard of the gentleman who's coming in. And I think he must be the other side. He must be a bit right. And that, for me, is a little bit of, it's disruptive in a kind of way. The Gonzales principle's been going on for how many years?
25.
25 years.
Some say 24, some say 25. I would say 25.
St. Vincent didn't have, they have no CBI program.
No.
They had liberal marijuana growing policies, which is very, long before everybody else did. And as I said, any kind of left and right situation is disruptive, and that plays into the hand of the other people above us, who are looking in our region. If we have that kind of thing happening in other islands, I think the whole Caribbean region will become very destabilized. And so whether I don't know his internal policies because I don't live in St. Vincent, but as a regional thing, I think we have to look at it very carefully.
So you would have said it's better for the ousted Prime Minister to continue over there?
Looking at the whole international geopolitical situation, the region needs to be together.
I never thought of it that way until you exposed it, but I would agree with you. But the people have made their choice, so
they had enough.
But that's often the case with politics and people and voting. The voting system doesn't 100% reflect what's going on. It's the power of the campaign and the grife. And I think there's a lot of, in St. Vincent, there's a lot of disconcernment about the way Gonzales has run the country. I have some friends there, I have some business colleagues there in the music industry. I have to have a talk with them later in the afternoon and find out what's actually going on down there.
But I hear what you're saying, though, because we might see a leaning more towards those interventionists that we see happening recently, especially along the line of the citizenship for by investment, and we got to be. But I never thought of it from that perspective until you put it on the table.
Well, Grenada, for example, I mean, we've seen what happened with the Americans coming in and putting in their satellites and stuff like that in Grenada. I mean, that's also a very rightist kind of happening. So that now Grenada and St. Vincent, they're sort of leaning away, and. Yeah, I think we have to watch it very carefully to see who's going to be the next one that's going to go that way, who's voting next and what's
listening to you now, I'm a bit concerned because, like I said, I didn't look at it from that perspective. But hey, let's keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best.
Yes, sir. So, okay.
So you can go right into whatever it is.
Chat, Friday talk. We often pick up our conversations from the news that we get, and I heard something the other day that made me think, and it sort of it didn't make me think. It made me think a bit more of some things which I've been thinking about for quite a while here, living in St. Kitts, having been back for over 20 years now. And I work. One of my pet things is the environment and town planning. I heard that the Honourable Prime Minister went to Taiwan, was it, to a conference, and came back with a promise of 2 electric buses. And I thought to myself, that's what we're going to do with 2 electric buses. And what does it take to disrupt 2 electric buses? I mean, one part could go broken, and before we know, the bus is not working, and the second one would be the same thing could happen. And the gift of 2 electric buses and the promotion that goes behind that, are we doing well? We're working towards a greener, more carbon-free sustainability plan. and it all sounds really great, but it doesn't really help us at all. Which made me started thinking about what should happen, and if our honourable gentleman wants a pat on his back and to make a good impact on his term in office, is something more sustainable is the word they all like to use. Something more sustainable could happen. For example, I'm a believer in making Basse-Terre a total pedestrian zone. It's pedestrianised the town, which one time they tried it for the cricket World Cup, and everything was taken out of Fort Street and no cars were there, and it was really wonderful. I think something could be said about pedestrianising Basse-Terre. I've just came into town at the moment, and I usually park a little way out and walk in. Maybe because it's the Europeanness that still is inside me. In Europe and big cities, you park and walk. And as I parked and I walked to the studio, I noticed a lot of cars outside there was more cars outside the Catholic church now than there were children going in to the school. And you couldn't move. Just a moment. I'm sure it's going on every day, twice a day outside there. And it's everywhere. I can't remember how many cars they said we have in St. Kitts at the moment, but it's a lot of cars. And they are still coming in, these, whether they look pretty, whether they look nice, people, but they are still second-hand cars. And they are big. They're not designed for our roads. I mean, when you got a nice BMW and you've got a nice Starliner, what they call it, it's wonderful. It's really nice. But those cars are designed for when you want to travel from London to Manchester, or from Tokyo to Osaka, or from New York to New Jersey, not to travel from Basse-Terre to Caen, you know. So those cars that we're all bringing in here, they're not really looking towards the future. They're not sustainable. So going back, the pedestrianising of Basse-Terre, what would it do? What would it provide? Most cities in the world, big cities, take about in Europe, where I used to live, you have Stockholm, you have Berlin, you have Amsterdam, you have wherever. Most of the cities, I can't run enough in my head right now, but most of the cities are pedestrianised, and they're also electric in this kind of way that you can get around with electric bikes. You can park your car, get on a bike, and go around the city, and the cars are nowhere to be seen. And people, in the beginning, people say, okay, if you take the cars outside Basse-Terre and you take the car out, it's the Chambers of Commerce is going to be up in arms, because you are stopping commerce. It's bad for business. People are going to need to be able to come in to town to buy and shop. But that's a really old argument. It's not true. It's really not true. If you pedestrianise Basse-Terre, for example, it means that there'll be more shops. There'll be the young people who are now investing in bars and in restaurants, and they're setting up businesses in the little villages around Basse-Terre. They can move into town. They could move into Basse-Terre, and we'll have lots of restaurants, lot of cars. The taxi drivers are a problem. We know that they don't want to move, but it's okay. In this environment, the taxi drivers will be okay. They can keep their vehicles in the city, probably not in the circus, because if you're going to have cafes and you're going to have umbrellas, you're going to have people walking up and down Fort Street, it won't be very good to have taxi drivers in the corner there. So I think business-wise and economic-wise, I think there's something to be said about pedestrianising the whole of Basse-Terre. How does it work? Okay, you'll have the terminals in the north, in the east, and in the west, where people can drive in, park their vehicles there. Shuttles bringing them into town, and then bikes and other kind of electrical vehicles to carry people around the place. And if we did that in a tropical way, not in the way they do it in Europe, we do it in a tropical way, people will be flooding to come to Bastia. People will flood to come here. People would love to come to see the city that is like this, with all our history, our environment is taken care of. We're looking into that, and we're making money at it. We'll definitely make money at it. There's no doubt about that.
But we know that in the UK, because of pollution and taxes and stuff, that's why they don't take the cars they'll park them at the train station, they'll catch a train and they'll go to town. And as you said, there are a bunch of e-bikes all over the capital you can use to get around. But do you think if the UK and maybe the other European countries didn't have that tax, people wouldn't take their cars closer into town than waiting for the train, although the systems over there, the trains are very reliable?
Yeah, I think it's a win-win for everybody. To be honest with you, it's not just environmental issues, the carbon copies counts or whatever they call it these days. It is a win-win. You know, it's if you go to Copenhagen, for example, in Denmark, they have the longest walking street in the whole world, and it's full with people. All the time, non-stop. Tourists are there to experience it. Shops are all full, bars are full, restaurants are full. I mean, a car with one person sitting in it in the middle of a town somewhere. I mean, if you do that in Europe, they'll think you're mad. You know, they'll think you're mad. And I think that's the future. And Bastia could do that. There's very few. That project couldn't work in Grenada. The Grenadas, have you been to Grenada? Town is full of hills. In the middle of town is up and down, up and down, up and down. Even in St. Lucia it wouldn't work. But Bastia will work. It's flat. And then you can pedestrianize. You can have bike trails that goes from as far as the airport all the way, you know, to Kim Collins, for those people who want to bike, you know, physical biking. And there's only one hill. And that's going up to from Fort Thomas up to the village. That's the only hill.
I won't consider that a hill. That's
Exactly.
a little incline.
That's the only one we have in Bastia. So people can't say, "Oh, I can't bike. It's too much hard work." It's totally flat.
But caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T. Do you have a question for John or a comment?
Good morning, John. How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you very much. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, how's that? Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yes,
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
A very interesting view, you know, John. And I support it, if not the entire Bastia, at least that 4th Street section. If you folks recall, sometime way back when, there was something called Bastia Alive, where there were tents in the middle of the street. At least when I was director of culture, we had it, and I believed in it, and I thought it was extremely successful, where we had vendors, artisans, etc.
Yeah.
We put down tents in the middle of the street.
Yeah, I remember
from
that.
the top of 4th Street down to the circus, and persons walk through, coming through, and to me, it's somewhat intimate. Being to St. Martin a few times, I like the idea how it is. Well, of course, they have traffic. They have vehicular traffic going through both Front Street and the back street. But that shopping area, and I think that may very well encourage more persons, especially younger persons, to get into entrepreneurship.
Of course.
Because 4th Street, that's basically the biggest thoroughfare in Bastia, I believe. And yes, the vendors, they are going to they're going to have pushback from them. However, when things are done for the greater good of the people, I think me and my personal view will just have to be on the side. That is what life is all about, the greater good for the greater number of people. And some persons are going to be, they're going to have issues, they're going to get left behind or whatever, they're going to be inconvenienced. But that, I believe, would help sell our tourism product even bigger and better.
Of course.
And it creates a more relaxing environment, atmosphere, in my humble view. And I think that could very well work. And like you said, John, for the World Cup, But part of the challenge, and I have a problem with that. Come Carnival, we at Culture, we had a challenge getting permission from the police to do things like that. And especially if it is for a national carnival, that should take precedence. It's like people arguing about Bastille Life being down by KFC there. And even when there's the drill competition, I believe we are going to be inconvenienced. And we like too much of that comfort zone. We need to step out at some point. And it's like in Barbados when they have the carnival parade, Spring Garden. And they have it on the whole of Spring Garden. I mean, everybody understands and everybody accepts and everybody adjusts. But we here in St. Kitts particularly will want things the way we want it for forever. But I like the idea, John. I support it.
Thank you.
At least 4th Street.
Yeah, 4th Street is good. I think it's economically, you touched on a point about entrepreneurship. At the moment, there are people coming into St. Kitts who have entrepreneurship experience. They're shopkeepers. I'm very happy. Well, at first, when I saw a lot of Chinese shopkeepers coming to St. Kitts, I was concerned a little bit. But then when I saw how they operated, I thought, well, we have things to learn from these people. They can take a space as big as in this studio here, a room that we have, and full it out and run a supermarket concept. And only that, they're going to show you how you'd work the till. Back in the day when we ran our shops, you know, you stand there to buy something, check out, there's no line, it was total chaos going to the local shop here. The Chinese have come now, and they've showed us, this is how you run a shop. So there's things that we can learn, and we've learned from that, you know. And so I'm not against foreigners coming in and showing us something, but we have to look and see what opportunities that we can provide for ourselves. What do we have? Okay, so if you pedestrianize the place, it means one thing would happen is that those vendors or those businessmen from abroad, the Indian guys who are in Port Zante, they will stay in Port Zante. But the young people, as I said, I was picking up some beers from my bar the other day, and there was this young girl. She was probably in her early 30s, and she was buying 4 Caribs, 4 Stags, 4 whatever, and I was very impressed. She had everything organised. She had a credit card, and I said, "Oh, you're having a party?" "No, I have a business," she says. "I have a business." I said, "Oh, great." And then she said, "Don't keep the receipt," and she knew exactly what she was getting. She was serious. So I said, "What are you doing?" "I have a restaurant." And her restaurant is not on 4th Street. It's probably in the back somewhere. So this idea would bring those youngsters into 4th Street and bring that kind of energy from our own people into that area, because you provide opportunities, you know, rather than carrying on the same way that we're carrying on. Because what happens is that other people see the opportunities that they can do, and they come in and they supply that need, you know. So I think entrepreneurship would happen. Health, for example, people start cycling, people start walking. Communication, people talk to each other, festivals, and the whole place will be bright. And when the cruise ships come in, they all see, wow, this is a real town. And we do it Caribbean style, not like in Europe, where these walking streets are sometimes full of ice and whatever. We'll have flamboyant trees, we'll have palms, we'll have outdoor cafes. And I tell you, the place will buzz and we'll make money, Honourable Prime Minister. And not just 2 buses coming from Taiwan to say that we're now green. It's not going to work, you know. Sorry, that's the start of my spiel this morning. And now I'm getting too passionate, so I better calm down.
Oh, boy.
You know, it's interesting how people with a British accent, when they get passionate, they still sound calm.
Yeah, exactly.
When I get passionate...
Yeah, so that's my thinking, and
so you're saying you should be coming back with more green ideas than 2 buses.
Yeah, 2 buses.
We have a call.
Caller, go ahead for John. You're live in Island
Good morning, John. I like the idea, especially as one caller said, for the center of Bastia, right? The center of the city. It gives an opportunity for us to green the area, as it is right now. It's just building, it's just concrete and cement, concrete and steel. Huh?
We cut down the trees. We keep cutting down the trees.
Yes, yeah. You're talking about the circus.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. But it does give an opportunity to have boulevards there, which, I mean, that makes the world of difference. It makes it feel more comfortable, just walking along a street where trees are, okay? As for the buses that are coming in, I think the ideal thing for those buses to be used as is at the airport. They could have been modified, and Taiwan could have done that easily, modified so that they can carry passengers from the terminal to the aircraft.
You're correct, especially on Saturdays. Especially on Saturdays and rainy days.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, they could easily have been modified for that, since we don't have jet bridges.
Because Barbados uses those same buses as buses to transport people.
Yeah.
Mr. McMahon, hold a second. There's another caller. Hello, caller.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How are you guys today?
Good, thanks.
It's
Yourself?
Good Friday. Anyway, Mr. McMahon, idea for the two buses, that's a good idea, Mr. McMahon, because then I was thinking, like everything else government put their hand on, they would, after a while, they end up in the government graveyard. Because, we don't maintain anything.
Right.
We don't maintain anything, so they just end up in the graveyard of all the vehicles and things what they have.
All for free. All for free. All that they got for free.
My question is the pedestrian Bastia. Your guest talk about shuttle. Is the shuttle going to be free? Because then when you look at it, that's another expense. Because I'm thinking, if I have my vehicle, why would I pack up my vehicle to pay somebody $2-3? Especially if you're going to Bastia often.
Of course, it'll be free. It'll be free. In Manchester, in the UK, they have a similar system with their buses. That there is it's a bigger city of about nearly 1.5 million people, but they have a line that is free, that goes to fixed places. And that buses come every 20 minutes or whatever, and that's free. If they're electric and if it's government owned, of course you go into the pool. It won't be very costly. It wouldn't be costly. I think it'd be free buses.
It sounds good, but I think...
How does it paid for in the long run, though? If it's, I understand you say it's a free service, but how is it paid for?
That's exactly what I'm thinking too. How would it pay for? Because then...
Well, you could pay from carbon. You can have carbon remittances, and a government is possible to go to the international institutions and get the money back, because they can prove.
Do you think our government will do that for free?
Well, it's free. It's
no, they do. We don't have to look far. We don't even have to look to Europe. They do it right here in the Caribbean, in Aruba, for instance. There's a light rail that runs through the shopping area from the cruise port, for instance. It's totally free. Anybody can hop on and hop off, and it's a service provided, I guess, by the tourism department. But in a place like St. Kitts, which is flat, there's no reason why a similar thing can't be done, let's say, on the Bay Road from one end to the next, So I don't think it would be that prohibitive for government to run a service like that. But I think we missed an opportunity when we were looking at the area of the Bastia High School, right? Instead of using all that land for a school, you could use some of it for a school, yes, but then you could also use it for a parking lot, a
bus terminal.
Parking lot.
Bus terminal or terminal of some sort.
Well, guys, I'm a hang up, but I pray that it's a good idea, and I pray that the people are listening. Because, you know, sometimes we throw out ideas, but for some reason they don't grab onto the ideas from the people. Have a good day, guys.
You too. Thanks for calling.
Well, I think the concept is there. I mean, as I said, the experience, we don't have to go very far. You're not reinventing the wheel. You can go to any city and go on a conference and go and watch and see how it's done and take the best of their ideas and see how we can incorporate into our ideas. Somebody told me a story about back in the day with the sugar factory in as late as the 60s and 70s, when people used to bike from town to the sugar factory. And biking was so popular in St. Kitts that the government started licensing bicycles. And there was a kind of a whole movement for when clocking time, people biking up to the factory and then biking back for lunch. And there were hundreds of bikes that people had going up to the factory. So, and it can be done. We're flat.
So where in Bastille do you presume that traffic stops entering?
Yeah, good question. I think the Kim Collins Highway area is quite good because you can then feed people along the highway into the Rams area and down to the KFC area. That's for the people coming east. Then west, then we've got central. Of course, you've got the big, the one for the people in the west by the terminal, which you can do all the things that's necessary. And then there's St. Peter's you have to consider. Then I think you need to go a bit further up towards, where the Gillards and that area, back to the roundabouts, that side, to take care of the St. Peter's area. The airport is challenging, of course, you have to go around it. So maybe even going even further towards the dishes, maybe might have to do that along the new bypass road there, maybe even across there. So there's room, there's places. And most of those areas, land is government land. They're reclaimed, what do you call it, cane land.
So there's a caller, and we're 2 minutes over time. We already have the next guest. So caller, go ahead, and then we're going to have to think about wrapping up. Go ahead, caller.
Okay, good morning to you and the Cartens here, and also to your guest. Your guest is explaining a lot of things, which sounds pretty okay. The only thing I agree is that we can, not so much agree, but we can turn from West Queer Street to Church Street into pedestrian area, down to as far as the Bay Road in that rectangular area, and that way we'll be able to, move freely without being hindered by pedestrians. He talked about he met a young lady. One of the hindrances in Bastille for young people is rent. For entrepreneurs is rent. To rent a building in Bastille, it is very, very expensive. And if you rent a building if two persons rent a building, or one person rent a building, and then he or she wants to sublet or rent to another person, the owners are going to say, no, this is to business in this section, so each of you have to pay $1,500, $1,000. So the rent is the biggest hindrance for entrepreneurs who wants to operate in Bastille. We can turn Church Street up to West Queer Street, and from Keon Street down to the Bay Road by the Old Treasury into a pedestrian area. That is quite fine. Yes. That is quite fine. We would not need to go and make up bike pass, bike way, and taking people. Remember, think it is small enough, and having people come out of their vehicle at Kim Collins.
Yeah, thanks is small. We still got about.
That is ludicrous.
But we still got about 10,000 people in Bastille. There's about 10,000, more than 10,000 people live in the Bastille area, and you cannot continue with vehicles with that amount of people.
The thing for me, it was to have another town. We already give away most of the lands. The whole of Borio, from Borio roundabout right down to the end of where the monkey farm is, could have been another town. But we already give away the lands, sold the land for other reasons. So the land that we think we have, in the Bastia area. It's not there, you know. You're seeing them, but it's not there.
Okay, caller. We're going to have to
Yeah,
wrap
good.
up.
It's a short time, so yes, thank you very much.
But that's a very
Call
good,
again another day.
that's a very good input, and I like the fact that you brought up the rent because I also agree with that.
You guys take care now.
Thank
Say,
you.
Take care. John,
Yes, thank you.
do your quick wrap up, and then we're going to take a commercial break.
Yeah, thank you very much again. I think that what I'm suggesting is a future. I think other people will be talking about it. If we're not talking about it now, somebody else will talk about it. So I'm happy to be here to get people's minds ticking. And thanks for the opportunity to come and do that.
Okay.
Put out my passion again.
And thanks for bringing your passion, your mild passion.
Found the sound 98.9.
The clock is ticking. It's Hartsford's Building and Nevis Centers and Builders Paradise Christmas Countdown Sale. This Thursday, December 18 to that day, December 20. Enjoy 30% off store-wide all weekend. Plus 12% VAT on that day, Saturday, December 20 on everything you need before the holidays. Don't wait. Time is running out to save big before Christmas Day. Build with us at Hartsford's Building and Nevis Centers and get everyday low prices at Builders Paradise.
Here comes the Mega Ball. You could win more with the Mega Ball. Pick 3 and pick 4 and you could get all. Yes, playing Pick 3 and Pick 4 with the Caribbean Lottery just got more rewarding. Now you can win more with the Mega Ball. For just an extra $1, increase your winnings by $1,000 with the Pick 3 and a big $10,000 with the Pick 4. Don't wait, play today. Play Pick 3 and Pick 4 with the Mega Ball at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. You ready to win a little extra? Then get on the ball. Must be 21 and over to play.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
Here are your Horsters Value Mart IGA specials.
Running November 27th to December 10th.
Now our Value Club Blue Tag specials. Malto meal bagged cereals, just $19.99. Essential Everyday White Vinegar, $14.99. Pillsbury Cake Mix, $6.99. Chef Boyardee canned and microwave pastas, $6.99. Celeste pizzas, $6.99 each. Morningstar meatless entrees, $20.99. And now our very low weekly
value deals. IGA or Essential Everyday Mac and Cheese, $2.99. Essential Everyday Oils, Vegetable and Canola, $13.99. Essential Everyday Croutons, $5.99. Libby's Canned Vegetables, $2.99. Nature Valley Granola Bars, $12.99. The Hammer Toothpaste, $14.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart, tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
This Christmas, add postpaid for a festive win-win. We're gifting you a 50-inch smart TV or a $400 Amazon gift card. When you add a Flow postpaid mobile plan to your home internet, you can celebrate the most wonderful time of the year with a big screen or big shopping. Let us upsize your TV or clear your Amazon cart. Either way, you come out on top. Add postpaid to internet today for your festive win-win. Visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply.
And we're back on Island T just about 9 minutes after the hour of 9. Quint, I didn't quite understand what you and John were getting at, but I didn't want to take away any time from the time that John had in terms of the change that just happened in St. Vincent.
Yeah, it's about left and right and extremism.
Mhm.
Like, for instance, people on the left are usually the Democrats. Those
Mhm.
on the right are the Republicans, and you know how they go extreme. So that is what we were speaking about. You still
Because
don't get it.
One of our commenters on Facebook says St. Lucia is going to get the same thing. I
The
don't
same-
know. As
the
I said, I have not been so keen on St. Lucia. I just saw a street where, if I give you a joke, right? I can't believe this is how petty we get in elections, right? Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Hortensia, and good morning, Quint.
Yeah,
Quint
good day.
Essential behind the scene.
Morning, how are you
Always
doing?
essential with your contribution.
Well, thank
yeah.
you.
John left he exited the studio.
Yes.
Yeah. I wanted to get an interaction with him, but albeit, I can always bring it up another time because he has given so much food for thought. Except though, because of the negligence in our planning over the years, Hortensia Quint, I can recall when they were planned for a separate space because of the demands for space. Even within the cemetery, there were some plans to have a cemetery. All of that is gone. So John has brought so many brilliant ideas. But presently, where we are now, and the planning and the negligence of our planning over the years, that is out of the window, unfortunately. Because the spaces here are talking about the periphery, be it north or west of Bastille city center, all of those spaces have taken up. All of those lands, those lands that are there, is their owners, and so forth and so forth and so forth. So it's not a far-fetched idea, but it's like John somewhat living in a world which we're not ready for, you know, to really bring about what certain international cities are like, the city center. And I would think that John would even want to include like planting of trees in the city and all of that to bring about that ambience. But that is gone because before we plant trees, we are cutting down trees, including our national flower.
Yeah.
The tree that bears our national flower. So, good idea, brilliant idea, but probably for another dispensation of time, in another world.
And
because
to interject, the caller's point about land and land scarcity and not being certain things, that was a very valid point because, again, it brings up this question of the government wanting to move towards this SSZ thing, and
it's sustainable. Say forward it is.
Yeah, I mean, how is this going to, if we're already complaining about land, how are you going to be pushing this kind of thing? I mean, it doesn't really have any merit. So what are you going to do? Like what you're doing in Nevis, entice the people to sell their land so you can put these big places that are going to be more residential than business? It doesn't. So that caller brought in a point that brings us right back full circle to the SSZ and how much merit it really has.
And also, the Destiny project is not only restricted to Nevis as things unfold and information becomes available. One of the questions that was posed is that, like there's going to be an office on Sinkit for that Destiny project. Why are you going to put an office on another island where the Prime Minister said, well, leave him out of it? Also, what this was disclosed lately is that there was in conversation since 2024, even earlier, but let's say 2024.
Yeah.
So when the SSC legislation was put forth there, and I can tell you that SSC legislation has all of the blueprint, the imprint of not the Attorney General of St. Kitts and Nevis, but someone else who know the law, who know the jurisprudence, and would want to craft a piece of legislation for them to utilize it, channel it through the Parliament, and to get their way with all. Because remember, Olivier Jensen said that St. Kitts has a lot of crime. There's a crime in St. Kitts and Nevis, and they want to bring about the zero crime within their space.
But we
so therefore,
how do we have a lot of crime?
Huh?
Where do we have a lot of crime?
That's a good question, Hortensia.
Well,
Because
you
if you do the thing, yes, we have our own challenging.
Yeah.
But I could tell you what, even Rome have more crime than St. Kitts and Nevis. Rome.
But you see,
So that is what he's saying. So we know it's not going to be an ordinary security that you will see certain institutions got their own security, but it will be a security of a state-like security. You know what I mean? Because if his concern is so much on crime, and crime is almost everywhere, and we almost zero of it, we have our challenges at time. But you can do the comparative analysis the world over. You will see that we're like chalk to cheese when it comes to other countries.
Yeah, but
right?
but it also shows you Africa, where these people come, they have observed us for some time, they come, they purport to have money, and just that saying they have money seems to have been enough for them to get something over on our leaders. And they come having already assessed us to their own determination. They decide that St. Kitts has a lot of crime, so they want to have their proximity over there where they're free of crime. And so you see how they're already charting our course.
Yes. He did say, though, that comparing Dubai and comparing like Monaco and Liechtenstein maybe and Monaco to the Caribbean, our climatic condition is so conducive for development. Yes, he did say that. Albeit, though, not the type of ideology, not the type of development that he foreseen, and we're not going to accept it. Also, it's not that the politicians that have shown concern about this SSD. It is the cross-section of our fabric of our society, the fabric of our society, because the Bar Association and other interest groups and ordinary folks who doesn't have a political agenda, who have weighed in on this thing to say that, look, listen, we cannot be bought. And what we possess now, it is the blood, sweat, and tears of our forebearers who have willed it to us. And the baton is in our hands to take this thing forward, to trust it forward, to leave it to a better generation, leave it in better. So we cannot reinvent the wheel. We cannot reverse this situation as we speak. So it's not just like some pundits will say like, oh, the politicians, they're in opposition and they're saying these things to get into office. No, it is the wide cross-section, the wide cross-fabric of our society that has lent their voices to this cause. Come on, I'm proud of our sisters and brothers on Nevis who have the wherewithal to get the land in the portions that they have gotten it, and we have to show solidarity all the way. In fact, I'm a Kitty Nevis. I'm a Kitty Vision as we speak. Half-half, a balance, my mother's side and my father's side. So who best to speak on matters of such than myself, a Kitty Vision, and other Kitty Visions and Nevisions and Kittitians alike.
Yeah.
So we're going to be relentless because as development unfolds, we are getting more snips and pieces of it. Those of us who are privy, thanks to Mr. McMahon, who have shed the light on certain matters of interest to him and others, and we are also listening. We're listening with a keen ear, and we're looking with a keen vision, a keen eye.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Thanks for your
the time,
observation.
19 minutes moving away from the 9 o'clock hour. At the bottom of the hour, we should be having a bit of an interview. I've been thinking.
Quint, before you continue, I had it here to say before the caller come in, only Dr. Gonzalez won his seat, so it was 14 instead of 12-3, it was 14-1.
Yeah.
So just to let the folks know.
That is what I was told this morning.
Oh,
but
okay.
when you spoke, I thought perhaps the person had been misinformed, but now you've corrected that.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, caller.
Hi, good morning, Queen, Potencia, and all the listeners.
Yes.
Two things. Related in regard to the election in St. Vincent, I listened. I didn't follow up the campaign, but the last night you heard the outgoing Prime Minister saying, like begging the people to lift him up, lift me up, lift me up. But on another breath, he's saying he has some bad-minded people. So how you want to win an election and having that kind of, as you would say, rhetoric? So to me, he deserves to be defeated because 5 years, 5 terms, going on 6 is a long time. That almost sound like a cash job to me, like where you're going to want to rule forever. And then regarding the SSV, I heard Juni playing a clip. He had the Prime Minister on issues someday, I think, after he had the round table. So he played a clip from Melvin Edwards, Mallett's brother, Kansi's brother. So, man, if, you know, but it's interesting because he too is not in agreement with it. He outlined a lot of facts, but I can't, you know.
Remember them.
But one would have to hear it, but he's not in agreement with it.
Yeah, well,
right?
Most rational thinking people are not going to be in agreement with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, too, and then my question is, the Prime Minister recently had a round table, I think it was like, Wednesday. So why he has to be on the radio? It's like literally saying the same thing over. I'm just tired of hearing this last 7 years. It's just annoying. It's just really annoying because I wonder if the program is paid for. So Juni don't mind having him because he just keeps saying the same thing over. It's time to build the country.
Yeah.
It's time to build the country and just talking about it. That's not going to help the last 7 years. He seemed to, like Timothy said, he seemed to be a toothpaste in his mouth because it's everything the last 7 years, It's annoying. I just thought I would just bring that to the fore, and you have a good weekend. I look forward to seeing you listening on Monday.
All right, you too.
Take
Thanks
care,
for calling.
And the same to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The more we hear about this SSZ and this Destiny project, the less we like it. You know, the more concerned we are. And again, to go back to that caller who was speaking about, you know, that the fact that there's all this land, we go up in a plane and we see all this land that, but most all of that land, as far as I know, is owned, has an ownership, and that portion of the land, a massive portion of the land that is still under the crown, we have a question, is the government planning to take that land that is on the so-called crown land and put that land into SSZ? So then are you, the government, then saying that what land that we have that should be ours into posterity, you're going to put that up to go back to individuals who are coming from external? I mean, no, we cannot be thinking about that because we have to think about our children's children and how they will get homes and lands and how we would further develop and extend our cities and villages and that kind of stuff. Again, like the other caller was saying, perhaps we should have not just one town we should have, but then that's going to bring up another whole can of worms because Sandy Point is going to say they want a town and, you know.
But Sandy Point is already a town.
Well,
and they make it known.
Not in
I'm
the
sure.
vein.
I'm sure before the girl that they have their post office.
Yes,
they have their hospital. So.
But not in the vein that we're looking at. But I'm saying that they're going to be looking at it to be in the vein as we're looking at it. You know what I'm saying? So
they have their banks.
There's a lot of things that we're going to have to take into consideration, and these things cannot be just dealt with willy-nilly. You're going to have proper long-term vision and planning. That is why we are in the predicament that we are today, because there has not been long-term planning and vision.
But do you think long-term planning is not effective, although they have vision? Because when the government change, the party that comes in sometime either continue it or just change and start a whole new thing?
Well,
Do you think?
usually they change and start a whole thing, and that is the problem we've been having.
Because the vision's there, but
they don't
not
understand.
everybody buys it.
So it's not really a vision. It must be an ongoing vision then. Because if you have a vision, you're the incumbent, you have a vision, you lose, I come in,
They
and,
change
and
their
I
vision.
change it, then it's not an ongoing vision. It
Mhm.
means I did not buy into what, and then
You were
we
selling.
start all over again. So our those in opposition have got to look and see what works. And as your saying goes, if it's broke, don't fix it. Don't try to fix it.
Exactly, just go
Stop
on.
trying to come in with your egotistical prospects and thinking, well, I am me, and Quinty's going to come in, and Quinty's going to put his brand on everything, and not look at how it will play out over the long term. You know, hello caller.
Hello, caller. Yes. I that caller before was pretty correct. You know, I think the Prime Minister runs the risk of overexposure
Yeah.
with all these appearances and monotonous. Well, pretty much repeating a lot of the same.
A whole lot of
Yeah.
redundancy.
Yes, you know, but I guess that's something that he should really look at.
But Mr. McMahon, that again brings up, who are his advisors? How are they advising him? Or is he not listening? It's either he doesn't have good advisors or he's not listening. I would assume he doesn't have good advisors.
both.
Or perhaps both, yeah, you're right.
because I am actually surprised by what seems to be his intransigence on this SSD matter.
I'm surprised
Because
too.
with so much backlash against it, you'd think that he'd be more amenable
and knowing
to repealing it.
And
because
knowing-
all repealing does, contrary to what he says, that it's going back to the bad old days when a group of politicians sit around the table with the investor and decide what's going to happen. It's not doing that. What repeal would do is allow for a new act, a new SSD act,
Yeah.
with more inclusiveness, more
Yeah.
input.
Yeah.
Okay, and a better. It will result in a better.
And with the emphasis on development and business infrastructure as opposed to residential.
Yeah, all of that, and not only, and it can be extended from SSDs to any major project. I mean, you could put the limitations on what we might call major.
Yeah.
But any major project, so that you don't have this haphazard approach to some investor coming in with some ideas about what to do with our country.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, we have a Fort Thomas.
That's it.
You know.
Yeah.
But the what Hortensia was saying about left and right politics, I didn't realize I didn't follow Vincentian politics closely, but I didn't understand it to be a left and right thing.
Well,
Yeah.
John is the one who interjected it.
Yeah. Oh, it was John.
Yeah.
Okay.
John is the one
Yeah.
who said that it is more like a left and right. And when he said it, and I sort of assessed what he was saying, and I got the gist of what he was saying. That is why I told him, well, I hadn't seen it from that perspective, but now it's rather interesting, because you and I know how this left-right thing goes in terms of extremism.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But I compare. I think Ralph Gonzalez had mellowed, though.
I
mean,
agree.
compared to what he was.
I agree.
He's older now, Mr. McMahon. Not trying to knock his
Yeah,
age. He's
right.
79.
Yeah.
Right. And what was interesting about St. Vincent is it may not have been just about performance, because remember that they just a couple of years ago opened the Agile International Airport.
Yes.
And there's this big Sandals project there.
Yeah.
In St. Vincent as well. So
and
he was able to.
I'm glad you
to
made
do
that
all that
point.
without
That's
without
it.
the
Without
CPI.
this, that's it. I'm
Yeah,
glad
and
you
he
made
had
that
just signed
point.
some other big hotel deal before coming
so
out.
he
People were
showed-
wondering how he did that.
Yeah.
And Parliament was already dissolved.
So he shows that there are other ways of
To do
doing
things,
this
yeah.
thing. You know, the way
Well,
how
but at the same time, it also showed that when people fed up with you, they fed up with you.
Yep.
And
But that's because he should have been thinking about transition. Remember, Denzel Douglas ran into that same problem.
yeah, and the last thing people want is it to appear that you're passing down the prime
That's it.
ministership
Yeah.
to your family.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No, people ain't into this dynasty thing. You know? But I think it certainly has lessons for the other parties in the region. Okay? You know, there's
We're gonna have to
connection
break
between them.
off. We're gonna have to break off because we have some individual.
Yeah, you can
break
call back
off.
after the segment, Mr. McMahon.
Yeah.
Sure. All right then.
Okay. So let's take that commercial break so that we can transition.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
The countdown is on. The sweetest season of the year is here. From December 13th to January 2nd, St. Kitts and Nevis comes alive once more with vibes galore, energy to explore, and moments sweeter than ever before. Sugar Mass 54, sweet to the core. The stage erupts with the passion of Calypso, the sweet sound of Pan, the heat of Soca, dazzling pageants and traditions that make you love Carnival even more. Dance to the streets at Juve, celebrate folklore, and revel in the Grand Carnival Parade, a celebration of rhythm, color, culture. Sugar Mass 54, sweet to the core.
Campari, red passion, embrace the mix.
Campari red passion, full action, this is red passion. Embrace the mix, add Campari, make it turn and twist. Add your chaser in your drink, Campari red passion, make the nicest mix. Campari!
Campari red passion, embrace the mix. Must be 18 years or older to drink. Drink responsibly.
The holidays just got a whole lot brighter with the new $5 Holiday Stash scratch ticket. It's easy to play, packed with $1,000 prizes and many chances for you to win big this holiday season. So go ahead, treat yourself, spread some cheer, and stack some cash. Play Holiday Stash today at Caribbean Lottery agents and vending machines island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play. Please play responsibly.
'Tis the season for dreams to come true. There's Santa for the kids and CIBC Caribbean for you. Whether it's a house, land, vehicle, or upgrading your home, CIBC Caribbean can support your dreams with the financing you need. Enjoy incredible cashback deals with mortgages and land loans. Plus, your approved loan gives you a chance to win up to US $5,000. Apply now at www.cibccaribbean.com/sweeten the season. Terms and conditions apply.
And a welcome back to Island Tea, just about 33 minutes after the hour of 9. Good morning to everyone locked on. I'm your host, Hortensia, as we know, and you're tuned in to Insurance Insights powered by Guardian General. Today we are happy to present this 15-minute program aimed at providing you with valuable insights into motor insurance. So today in studio with me is Mistress Kezia Walters, Insurance Manager with SL Horsford's Finance Company Limited, agents for Guardian General Insurance Limited. We'll be delving into the topic of motor insurance. We know this is the season. We know everybody have more than one car, so yes, we'll be talking about motor insurance. So welcome, Mistress Walters, and welcome by side note, the lovely Delia. She's in studio with us as well.
Well, good morning, Hortensia. It's an awesome pleasure to be here this morning, and I'm looking forward to this exchange that we will have about motor insurance today.
All right. So, Mrs. Walters, I'm sure that at this time we have many drivers out and about on the road tuned in to this station.
I am pretty much sure that we do, and I know that there are a few questions outside wondering about the importance of insurance.
Yeah, so
and
tell us why it's important.
Okay, I'll do that, and I'll also tell you, I'll advise you that insurance is very much mandatory by law. So if it's mandatory, it's very much important. So insurance, motor insurance, for example, protects you from any legal ramification that may arise from an accident. So the minimum requirement for motor insurance coverage is third party.
Okay.
And third party, what third party does is cover the other person. So it covers the other person in the event of a loss. It will cover their motor vehicle, their property, or bodily injury. However, you can also insure your motor for full cover under a comprehensive policy. Now, comprehensive policy covers you for repairs. It also covers you for replacement. It covers you for named perils, including fire, theft, you name it. And it goes fully, sorry. Bear with me, it's the first time here, so I'm a little nervous, but comprehensive, it's a very good policy to have. It protects you, it gives you own damage and third-party damage, and up to the policy's limit. Now, at Guardian, we have affordable insurance coverage for you, and that is what we're here to push today.
Okay, so it's good to hear that Guardian General Motor Insurance policy is affordable, and by now you've piqued the interest of our listeners. So what factors does an insurance company consider when quoting a premium for motor insurance?
Okay, so I'm happy that you asked that, because sometimes we're asking questions and clients or potential clients may think that we're asking too much. Now, it's important to know your age. It's important to know your driving history. If you've had any accident while driving, it's important to know the information also about the motor vehicle and the type of use, whether you will be using the vehicle commercially or privately. Now, the better your risk profile, the more favorable your premium is or will be.
All right. So it's exciting to know that safe driving is rewarding. Where one can earn a no-claim discount. But I have another question to pose. Can someone else drive under my car insurance policy?
Most definitely. Someone can drive under your policy if you have declared that to your insurer. Okay? So it's important to have that conversation with your insurer. So if Uncle John or Aunt Mary will be driving your policy, or your motor, it's important to declare that to us, because we can tailor the policy to suit those drivers only, or to explicitly cover drivers who you would be acquainted with. For example, companies will have more than one person driving their vehicle. So it's important to have that conversation with us. I'll give you a scenario. If you take out an insurance policy and you do not declare that other drivers will be on that policy, and you decided to authorize another driver to operate your motor vehicle, whether in a written form or verbally, and that person gets into an accident, then that claim will not be honored. It will be denied for the mere fact that it was not disclosed to your insurer, so your policy was not extended to cover another driver. So we normally would advise our clients to disclose all information to us so that we can then tailor the policy to suit your needs.
Okay, wow, that's very good to know. So everybody's driving your vehicle, make sure when you go to Miss Walters for your insurance, you say who will be moving the motor vehicle. So this is certainly an eye-opener. So I've been thinking, what would happen if I forgot to renew my insurance? Would I still be covered?
Now, as we stated earlier, that insurance is mandated by law.
Yes.
So if you forgot to renew your policy, you will not be covered. In fact, you will be breaking the law.
Okay.
Now, we want to avoid that. So at Guardian General Insurance, we mind your business. We actually, at the policy's maturity date, we send via post,
I like that.
we call, we send emails, we send text messages, and we WhatsApp as well, because we want to ensure that you avoid such consequences.
I like that. I like the insurance minding my business, because that's the business I want them to mind, right? Saving me problems. So you're absolutely right, Ms. Walters. It's best to avoid that. So something that has always been on my mind, and I'm sure the listeners would have liked clarity as well. I've heard persons involved in accidents indicating that their insurance company required them to pay a fee before honoring the claim. Is this true?
Yes, it is. But don't be alarmed. Now, an excess or deductible is the first portion that the client pays out of pocket, and that is normally communicated when onboarding. Now, if there is a claim, that is what you call an out-of-pocket expense, and excess and deductibles are worded into all policies within the territory, right? And that helps minimize as well, keep some order to administrative costs, but the excess is a small portion that the client pays in the event of a loss, because what the insurance does after is come in and pay all financial obligations up to the policy limit, right? So it eases your burden. We also at Guardian, what we do, we advise our clients when they are purchasing a policy to ensure that you read the policy wording, ensure that you go through the fine print. I know when we hear fine print, persons get scared, but there's no need, because the fine print, what the fine print does is disclose the benefits for the client, and it also discloses the exclusion. So then you have a better understanding of what the policy covers. And if there's no clarity, if you have any questions whatsoever, we advise you to reach out to us. Have that relationship with your customer service rep or with your agent. It's very important.
This is an off-the-chart question, but as you just mentioned, the fine print, sometimes you don't understand the words, because it's written in a way, I swear, sometimes only for the lawyers or whomever to understand. Do you take the time, if I'm a first-time onboarder, to go through with me so I can understand what is it I'm signing up for, what is it I need, what is it I don't need, and just help me to clearly understand my policy?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
In fact, we would actually point you to the pages in the book that speaks to your benefits and your exclusions. And then we provide you with all our contact information. So if you're going through and you have a question, you can reach us via email, WhatsApp, or direct call, or even in-person visit.
Okay, no problem. So, oh my, I didn't want this interview to end, but yes, we are winding down, and I really hope we had more time. So tell me, how easy it is for us to sign up at Guardian General?
It's very easy. We are located in the Hosfords complex at Wellington Road, Bastyr, and that's just below our automotive department. So where we have our showroom, we are just the building below that. You can call us directly, 465-9355, or you can email me directly as well, kzwalters@hosfords.com. And if you're calling us for a quote, we'll ask that you have certain information readily available. And these informations will be information about you and the motor vehicle. Now, the motor vehicle, you can easily obtain the information on a pro forma invoice that will tell you the age of the vehicle, the make and model, the actual market value. And for you now as the individual, we would need to know your claims history, your age. We will need to know the use of the vehicle. So if you have those type of information ready, then a quote will not be a hassle whatsoever.
Alrighty. So can you repeat your contact details for those who want to reach out to Guardian General about motor insurance?
Sure thing. As disclosed before, we are located in the Hosfords complex at Wellington Road, Bastion. That's just below our automotive department. You can call us at 465-9355. You can also email at Kasia, that's Kasia, Walters, WALTERS @hosfords.com, or you can visit us also at myguardiangroup.com, and you will see more about the company.
Okay, I have a next off the chat question. Why Guardian? We have a lot of other companies on island. Why should I come to you?
Well, Guardian, as we disclosed before, we have affordable rates, and presently, at this present moment, we have certain promotions running. So we have a Christmas promotion running, we also have a heritage promotion running, and for persons who've just purchased a vehicle, even if you've not earned a no claim, I know we briefly mentioned a no claim discount before, and a no claim discount is earned if you've been driving accident-free over the years, and that discount actually travels with you. So if you move from state to state, or if you're moving from insurer to insurer, that discount travels with you. So for persons who are just purchasing a vehicle and who have not earned a no-claim discount as yet, don't worry. If you visit us, we'll be sure to introduce you or give you a starter discount, and you can actually build on that.
All right, I like that answer. So, folks, you definitely have to go to Guardian. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome, kind lady. So excellent. It was truly an informative discussion, and certainly a pleasure to have you here in studio.
It was my pleasure, and I do expect some calls or in-person visits from your listening audience today.
I like that. So you've heard it all, folks. The importance of having motor insurance with our guest, Mrs. Kezia Walters, insurance manager with SL Horsford's Finance Company Limited, agents for Guardian General Insurance Limited, and our other guests that you really didn't hear much from, but everybody know the famous Delia. Yeah, she was right here. So thank you, Miss Walters. Thank you, Delia. We look forward to many more conversations and interviews with you.
Most definitely, and thank you.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9 Win FM.
That's the sound of you revving your car. That silence is you smiling because you're sitting in your very own car. At Guardian General, we understand the joy of having your own. That's why we're here to help you insure today so you can secure tomorrow. We've got you covered with prompt motor claims settlement and tailor-made insurance solutions to keep you in the driver's seat. To learn more, visit us at myguardiangroup.com. Guardian General. Live safe. Live easy.
The wait is over. Registration is now open for the CASCAP Junior Carnival Parade 2025. This year, we celebrate under the theme National Treasures, highlighting our unspoiled historical sites and cultural art forms. The Masquerade, Clowns, Brimstone Hill, Berkeley Memorial, Independence Square, and from Nevis, Hot Spring, Bath Hotel, and the Botanical Gardens. It all comes alive on Saturday, December 27th, 2025. Sign up now. It's free. Register online at www.skncarnival.com or in person at the Department of Youth, 3rd floor of the Cable Building, Keon Street, Bastyr. But hurry, while stocks last, join the celebration, honor our national treasures, and watch the future of Carnival shine. It's sweet to the core. Sugar Mass 54.
The clock is ticking. It's Hartsford's Building and Nevis Centers and Builders Paradise Christmas Countdown Sale. This Thursday, December 18 to that day, December 20. Enjoy 30% off store-wide all weekend. Plus 12% VAT on that day, Saturday, December 20 on everything you need before the holidays. Don't wait. Time is running out to save big before Christmas Day. Build with us at Hartsford's Building and Nevis Centers and get everyday low prices at Builders Paradise.
'Tis the season for dreams to come true. There's Santa for the kids and CIBC Caribbean for you. Whether it's a house, land, vehicle, or upgrading your home, CIBC Caribbean can support your dreams with the financing you need. Enjoy incredible cashback deals with mortgages and land loans. Plus, your approved loan gives you a chance to win up to US $5,000. Apply now at www.cibccaribbean.com/sweeten the season. Terms and conditions apply.
And we're back on Island T. It's just about 49 minutes after the hour of 9. And Quinn. Okay, caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T.
Yes, yes, it's me again. First of all, I would like to say, concerning what I spoke of earlier, with the alleging that Destiny will pay for the double salary next month, according to the former politician who was quoted in saying so. Now, if there is any truth to that allegement, and let's say the Destiny project is totally rejected, that those who oppose it wins, will the government be paying them back the money that they gave for the double salary, providing what is being alleged, if there's any truth to it? That's a question I would like to ask. Now, Quinn said something yesterday, and he quoted the late Honorable Mr. Kane, and which I had disagreed with Mr. Keynes on, that one thing is people is doing a certain business, nobody is supposed to be allowed to come here to do the same business, no foreigner. And I have disagreed with Mr. Keynes with that.
Well, it's how you word it, you're wording it wrong.
Okay.
What he wanted is that there are certain businesses, micro businesses, that are already exist here. So what he was saying, when you come as an investor, let it be an investment that expands what we do here, expands the development of the economy and industry and that kind of stuff. Little things like shops where people are selling little moms and pop shop, we don't want competition on that. That he was specific in relation to that. It wasn't broad where you say, if, for instance, if you have a car dealership and a Kiddishan is doing it, you're not saying you can't get a car dealership. He was speaking more precisely to the mom and pop shops.
Well, that is how I understood Keynes, the late Mr. Keynes, that once we are doing something here, you are not supposed to come to compete with the locals. If you come with anything, you come with something different. But even then, even as you explained it, still again, even with mom and pop shop, it is unbiblical for the government to disallow foreigners to come and compete with them, even for the mom and pop shops. And let me say something about these mom and pop shops. They have been known to give bad service, and not only that, a number of these mom and pop shop, the pops especially, a number of them businesses went out of business because they spent the money on women. Okay?
Minus, Greg, minus that. Isn't it just because they weren't getting the support anymore?
No, that was a big problem.
Okay.
No, that was a big problem why a number of them business ran down and went out of business.
I disagree with you. Let me give you a historical fact, and I'm sure any older person can align themselves with this. Without the mom and pop shops, we could not have survived as a society and as a people. The mom and pop shops afforded what we call credit, where when we were working on Master's Plantation, because of the mom and pop shop, we could go and we could sign in a book and get the product, the stuff that we need, the milk, the cereal, the flour, the rice, the whatever. You're speaking about things that perhaps evolve over time, but we're speaking about the historical trend and aspect of the mom and pop shop. And we know that we as a society could not have survived without the mom and pop shop.
Yeah, but discrediting also put a number of them out of business as well.
Yeah, exactly.
That as well. Okay? As a matter of fact, even somebody said, I think one time Miss Henry make mention of that. I think so, if my memory serves me well. Sorry, Miss Henry, if I'm misquoting you. But I think I heard it.
Back in the day, it did not put them out of business. But what happened is over time, when more businesses came into place, apart from the mom and pop shops, like the Rams and certain other businesses, people forgot the historical part that the mom and pop shop had played, and they went and bypassed the mom and pop shop and did their shopping in these more extravagant looking places, but still expected to go back to the mom and pop shop when they didn't have the money. And when they go back to the mom and pop shop, they took the credit and didn't make an effort to pay back, historically every family made sure they paid back. But over time, because of this modern trend now, people decided to go credit from the mom and pop when they didn't have the money, because if you're going to these other establishments, you're short of 5 cents, put it back. Right?
Exactly.
Mom and pop shop, you could get and you could go, and when you got your little whatever, you go and you mark off $20, you mark off of $50.
Some never even go back.
Yeah, but bad habits by the potential customers put mom and pop businesses out
because a lot of mom and pop shops in more modern recent times finished with crediting, and they used to have things to tell you, Mr. Credit there or something like that.
Because
it did in the later times cause trouble for mom and pop shop. Plus, like I said, a number of them had other things as well, bad service. The men them run down the business. But I didn't say all of them, don't get me. I thought it happened to most of them.
No, it didn't happen to most.
A number of them did run down the business.
Yes, and here's
because of women.
And here's another aspect to it too. As the moms and the pops got older and their children came into the business, that brought in the negativity, because the children had an attitude, oh, well, I could look down my nose at you, I could scorn you. If I don't agree with certain things, that family wasn't going to get credit and all kind of other stuff. But we're speaking about...
politics played in it too.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, because some people were less reluctant to deal with you, sell you and that sort of stuff, if you wasn't back in the party, especially if you was strong back in the other party.
But we're speaking to the traditional, historical relevance of mom and pop shops, and we could not have survived as a people without it.
Yeah. Well, time changes, Quint. Yeah. Time changes, and I'm not in agreement with barring anybody, even where mom and pop shop is concerned, from competition, be it from outside, even if it come from outside. But like I always say, we need to do the biblical thing and give petitions the land freely, shop between Christian families freely, the land, government land, because that is what would put Christians ahead of the foreigners here, because it would increase the net worth of Christians. Once you have land and property, it increases your net worth.
So what's the difference?
And having your net worth increase, you're able to do things more economically.
So what's the difference? I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you to some extent. But what's the difference between you saying as a government, I'm going to make sure that my people get the land so that it goes into posterity, and you saying, well, when it comes to small businesses like mom and pop shops, we don't want the Chinese coming in and taking over that completely. What's the difference?
No, the difference is that if Kititians have land and that sort of stuff, okay, you empower them much more economically.
But the same
and increase the network by increasing the network.
But in the same vein, Greg, if Kititians have a viable business on a micro scale, doesn't that also empower them? You know how much mom and pop shops empowered their children to go and get a college education and that kind of stuff? That is the way it works.
But the difference is this. You have in your own land, property, increasing your net worth. You're able to operate a business more competitively. If you do not have your land and so, even if you have your business, but you don't have your own land and that sort of stuff, well, number one, it makes it harder for you to have your own business if you don't have your own land. But even if that was the case, you have your own land, because your net worth is less, it makes it more difficult for you to invest even more in your business to make your business even more competitive, even with the foreigners.
But the problem
Land is the foundational thing.
I agree with you, but the problem is, Greg, you're being selective. You're being selective as to where you put emphasis on the locals as opposed to another part where you don't put emphasis on the locals. So you're saying...
No, because the biblical thing to do.
Don't be telling me about your biblical thing is your biblical thing.
I'm going to always say it.
Well, yeah, but I don't adhere to that. So I listen to it, I accept it because it's coming from you and it's your belief, but remember, I don't buy into that.
But yeah, I know that, but I say it because I know it and believe it to be true. But and what I am saying, Quint, if you have your own land and your net worth has increased and you have your business as a result, you don't have to use and spend your other resources and that sort of stuff in trying to acquire land. You already have it. So that resource that you would have used in trying to acquire land, you could put it more in your business.
Greg, you have been involved in commerce, industry and commerce to some extent. A lot of the original mom and pops, they didn't own their lands and their houses. Yeah. They were, however, they were able to get these businesses started. That is what allowed them to eventually be able to buy homes and land. So it works two ways. So I don't agree with you being selective in one and excluding in another vein.
Well, Quint, if you have your land, you could use the land as collateral to invest more in your business, make it more competitive.
I hear you, but I've also said, and you know this is true, and this is why when you have a point and I have a point, you keep going back and we keep going in circles. Hear what I'm saying again for the last time. A lot of the mom and pops, they didn't own their lands right off. But because of the business and because people then had moral ethics and standards and they paid for what they owed, those individuals were able to eventually be able to add on to their homes, eventually buy their property and own a piece of land. So it works both ways. That is what I'm saying.
Yes, but as more and more foreigners come into your land, you will see more and more the importance of your people having land. Yes, back then our society was mostly monolithic, was mostly basically the same people. But as we become more and more diverse, as more and more foreigners come in, you get to see the importance more and more of your people owning land, so that when the foreigners come in, your people are not put at a disadvantage by the foreigners because they do not own land. It becomes more and more important as the society gets more and more diverse.
And Greg, I've never disagreed on you on that. Have I disagreed with you on that? I've not.
No.
So.
No.
But here's the problem, though, Greg. Here's the problem, though, Greg. How is it that our leaders can't see that? How is it that our leaders can't see that more and more foreigners are coming in and it is important for their locals to have land? How is it our leaders see it? Their perspective is foreigners coming, sell them the land. Even entice your locals to part themselves from their land so that foreigners could buy it. How is it that?
Because, Quint, they stand to personally, I hope I didn't put WinFM in public. I'm going to say it as diplomatic as I could, Quint. It is my personal belief that personally more benefit for the politicians in selling to the foreigners than in selling to the locals. Personally, I believe they stand to benefit more in certain aspects. Don't want to put WinFM in any problem.
No, you can't.
You should know where you're coming from.
That isn't going to put us because you haven't called any names.
Exactly.
That is broad. You
That's
understand?
very broad.
Yeah. So I agree with
I
you.
think that's why they prefer to sell the foreigners.
And I agree with you 100% on that. So
and let me tell you something. And let me tell you something as well. You know, people might say, well, why the backlash? Why X and Y doesn't finish away with the destiny thing? Because the people backlashing. Hey, when you stand to gain, when X and Y stand to gain lots of money, trust me.
Yeah, they're reluctant.
You're going to do by the hook or the crook because money.
Yeah.
Money.
It is obvious.
Anyhow.
It is obvious.
Anyhow.
Yeah.
Me ain't saying no more about that. Take care, friend.
Same.
Take
All
care.
right, have a good
Yeah,
one.
it is obvious. It is obvious. The fact that you're sinking in and deep and biting into it and not letting go, even though you're hearing the people saying, and people on every level, right, saying, no, this is not a good thing. And something within the back of your mind must also be pricking you that to let foreigners come and own the grounds that your foreparents shed their blood, sweat, and tears on cannot be right. You know that. You know it within your soul. You know it. But yet still for personal gain and greed, you will sell your country from under your people's feet. What a sad thing.
Well, I think that's the best way to end on, but
Yeah.
I just want to wish you a good winning Friday. A good winning Friday.
Yeah. And speaking of Friday, let's hope that Mr. Friday can be more positive than negative for his people.
Yeah, because Friday is a positive day. Okay, Mr. Friday, just
Yeah.
do the work and let the people see the progress, and I guarantee you they'll give you a second term.
Yeah, okay.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
That's the sound of you revving your car. That silence is you